and together, you put together enough to pass this test. Test fatigue, that means that you were not doing enough practice questions so that when it was test game time, right? The test day, you were tired. You hadn't done enough like building up your stamina. So you became fatigued when you got a little nervous or maybe you got a little hungry. It's a 5-hour test. So if you don't have the stamina to get through that first hour, take a break, go sit down, look away from the screen for a minute, and then come back and reapproach that test with the same type of confidence, you'll get worn out. Okay. You'll have a panic attack. You'll get the glazed over look in your face. There's so many things that can happen just when your body chemistry does not work well with the way you've prepared. Okay. So we want to get kind of relaxed with everything. We want to get ourselves to where we understand that we're going to pace ourselves through this test. And then we have test date pressures. Maybe you set the date already, so you're feeling like you have to meet that date. And so you keep going, you don't adjust your study technique. You are nervous because of this date. And then you go in the test and then you don't pass again, right? Because you let the test date pressure you instead of knowing that you can always push that date back by 2 weeks if you're like, I need another 2 weeks to really put time in to these topics that I have not quite gotten yet. How do you know when you need more test time? Because you're still taking your practice questions and scoring underneath your goal or your target percentage. All right. Maybe it's 61% for some, it's 70% for others. It all depends on where you want to push yourself, how much cushion you want to have going into the NCLEX. All right. Maybe you're working with a certain type of NCLEX preparation material where a 65% in that material gets you passing the NCLEX Archer review. Or in another type of NCLEX prep resource like UWorld, you need like 80% to feel comfortable that you are all set and ready for the NCLEX, okay? But you don't know that until you've been studying for a while, and then you realize I only have a week left to the NCLEX. And I'm just figuring out how I want to be studying, where my scores are just starting to tick up. Maybe you add another week. Not a big deal. Maybe you want to be solidly scoring in the 70% before you go to take that test because your confidence will be there when you go in. All right. So don't ever let the test date, especially if you live in an area where you can simply reschedule, be the reason that you didn't use another week or two to get yourself together. Okay.